Welcome to Subramani. Do you realize, at least I was seeing that social media is full of advice to people on how to be more frugal, or rather how to spend less. It is all about spending less so that you will have more money to invest, right? It's like an obsession, and today, if you see the American sites, there is a huge competition saying how much you can save by spending less. Don't have coffee, don't have this, don't have that, all those things. For many Americans it has become an obsession, and I see many Indians also, especially in the age group of 60 plus, who are obsessed with spending less. This is fine, this is great advice, especially for those people who are living paycheck to paycheck, so that they can spend less and save more and invest more. But is it appropriate for a 55-year-old or a 60-year-old whose children are reasonably settled? I mean, they may not have they may have just about taken up their first job or things like that, but they're on the right path, right? They're earning money, so you don't have to be now worried about their education and those expenses. So largely it is money which you need for yourself. Do you find that you are obsessed about saving every rupee that you can, and you look at people and say, oh my god, they went abroad, how much money they are wasting, and things like that? I'm not a big proponent of foreign travel in this country, where there's a lot to see, but typical obsession is, oh my god, why did they spend 10 lakhs on that Europe trip, or why did they spend 35 lakhs on buying that car, right? So these are people who have the money. It will not impact them much if they spend more, but having led a life of frugality, maybe got from their grandparents, parents, whatever, right now they are not capable of spending money on themselves. They just can't. Maybe they can do a charity, but the ability to spend on themselves doesn't come. So here is a small checklist that you can do to see whether you are also I mean, I'm not even saying overspending is not a problem. Overspending is a problem for many youngsters who are unable to put together enough, even an emergency fund, forget a retirement fund. Of course, overspending is a problem for 90% of Indian youth. They live beyond their means, they have credit cards, etc., etc. But we are not talking about them. We are talking of an older set of people. And so ask yourself these questions. When you make a choice, do you always go for the cheapest option, right? So if you have to go from place A to place B, say, oh, it's so easy to get a bus, it's so easy to get a train. Do you do that for saving money or saving time? So if it is for saving money, put a tick for that, right? Do you always feel anxious about spending money? Even though you know that you have enough for the rest of your life, do you feel anxious about spending money? Do you always go for the cheapest option in terms of taxi, or should I go by taxi, should I go by auto, should I go by the cheapest option in Ola or Uber, right? So checking out all that continuously, making it an obsession, or even while ordering food, choosing a cheaper restaurant, while eating out, choosing a cheaper restaurant, and carrying it to such an obsession that I need to get a blood test done. Can I check where I get cheapest? Can they come home and collect it? Is the blood collection free, right? Will they supply, or while you're buying things, you check the prices at 2-3 shops before buying. Even grocery, you continuously do comparison shopping, which actually makes sense simply because grocery is the amount on which you spend the maximum. But is it an obsession that that price is what is driving you for everything, and not really the experience? Do you have you ever upgraded and then realize, oh my god, this is so nice, I should always use this service? Have you ever done that? If you have never done that, then do you is it that you have more than enough money for yourself for your old age, and you realize that you will be leaving either 4 crore 32 lakhs for your kid, or 4 crores? It doesn't matter, right? The extra 32 lakhs doesn't really matter. Spend a little on yourself, it's fine. Do you even refuse small upgrades in life, saying, "Oh no, no, I don't think I need it. I live a simple life," right? So if you have said yes to any of the four or all four of these questions, or maybe five questions, then yes, you might be underspending and hugely underspending, right? And excessive focus on spending focus saying, "Oh my God, I will only do this, I will not do this, this is a luxury, I don't need it," kind of a thing. I don't know whether it is good or bad, but yes, you are suffering from underspending, and you may be leaving this to kids who will be overspending, right? So don't bother too much about how much you are leaving, as long as you think you have adequate for your own old age, illness, whatever. I suggest something like this. For a couple, putting 1 crore in a multi-asset fund and saying, in case of a medical emergency, apart from my medical insurance, whatever it is, dip into this fund. I put 1 crore at my age of 52, so by the time I'm 70, 80, whenever this is called for, it would have gone up enough to match inflation. So please use this money. Beyond this, you need not spend, right? So you can do something like that. So once you have put away all that money and you still are not spending, then yes, you have a problem. Spending well actually balances quality and quantity of services that you use. It means you look beyond the price tag for the things that you buy. So sometimes it is more appropriate to buy a higher end stuff than to buy a lower end stuff. For example, when I am in Chennai, I don't use the cheapest option in Ola or Uber, because those taxis may not be good. So slightly, if you go one step higher, you get better taxis. So if I am traveling from Bombay to Pune, I don't take the lowest taxi ever. I go for a higher grade of taxi. The cars are likely to be cleaner, the drivers are better, and things like that. So it is always nice to slightly upgrade. Like for example, if you're traveling with Tara, maybe you try premium economy instead of going economy. Not that it makes much of a difference. I tried it, but it was a longer flight, so I thought I would benefit by the more leg space that I could have. It didn't make much of a difference, but I'm just saying, slightly upgrading and using better facilities, choosing better restaurants, choosing good quality places for getting your blood test done. Don't be obsessed with price, because the appropriateness of the test, how well the test is done, is far more important than just the price. Price does not really matter in such cases. The quality of service should matter, right? So when you're looking for a doctor, you don't look for the cheapest doctor, you look for a good quality doctor. Similarly, when you're looking for food, would you go and say, where is the cheapest vada pav available? You won't. You will ask somebody, hey, I'm in this new location, where is good food available, right? There you should not be so obsessed with price, especially where those people who have the money. If the experience is good, will you stick to that? That's a very important question to ask. Suppose you upgraded in some place and you found that the experience was good. Will you be happy using that service again? When you go out with your children, wife and children, do they feel that you are so much of a spendthrift that when you're looking at a restaurant menu, you're looking at the right side and you're not looking at the left side, right? So spending less is good, but does not mean that you should be obsessed with price. Spending less excessively focuses on price and not at all on the experience that you are getting. So I think a combination of when you take vacations, a combination of travel, of how much of walking, how much of cycling, how much of traveling by taxi you want to do, but making sure that you don't have to share a taxi or things like that. When you're going with your family, I found people doing that, saying, let us share a taxi and things like that. But if you're already 2 or 3 people, do you need outsiders to share your taxi with, right? So these are all, using a better quality vehicle, especially if you're traveling in places like Ladakh or even Arunachal Pradesh and all, you're much better off in a Fortuner than in a smaller car. Even if you're just 3 of you, it's worthwhile taking a good car, because the AC could be better, the road clearance could be higher, and good cushioning so you don't feel the strain, right? Similarly, when you're traveling long distance, if you're traveling India to US, it's a long flight. Traveling by business class is definitely more appropriate, especially if you're in your 60s or 70s. So find what is appropriate, find whether you will really exhaust all your money. Don't be obsessed too much about how much you need to leave for your children. At least enjoy your money while you're at it. You don't know how long you're going to live. Thank you.